Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the MCU Crew. Jesse, what's the fastest you've ever eaten a burrito? Like a full-on, like full-size burrito? Because I just did 7 minutes, and I'm not feeling good right now. Let me just say that.
Oh, I've done it faster. Oh, please.
Oh,
I've done faster than 7. Come on.
Really?
Come on.
Are we talking like a full, like, Foster's can burrito?
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Like a Foster's can, like a beer?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you meant you just ate a canned burrito, and I was like...
That's a thing?
What?
That should be a thing.
No.
Wait a minute. We should go into business, Jesse, and make canned burritos. Be incredible.
Nothing about that sounds good. Like, unless it was, you like unwrap the can, it was the size of the can. Because usually you can get those like...
That's what I'm saying.
Baby... Yeah, no. You know what? It's unhealthy and very probably
how do you
expensive
get it
to make.
Bronze, how do you get the burrito into the can? As head of our research and development team, Bronze, what do we do?
Yeah, Bronze.
To get the burrito fully enlarged in? Do we put the? I think here's what we do. We somehow devise it so that the tortilla goes inside the can, is cooked in the can and fills out the edges, and then we pipe in all of the other things, and then we seal it. So you like pipe in the, whatever you want. You could pipe in some rice, some cheese, maybe some meat, carnitas if you're feeling fancy,
Also, Bronze, how do you prevent the burrito shell itself from molding?
Ooh, good idea.
Yeah, you're in charge of that.
You got a lot of questions. Bronze, we need answers. Like the product guys over here are struggling.
Yeah. I assumed we'd use some Pillsbury-esque tech where it would be one of those cans that, it's one of those cans that pops,
that's an industry term.
Oh,
yeah, and then expands. Like maybe if we could somehow vacuum seal it down, and then you pop the top of the can and start unwrapping, and then it gets bigger.
If we're canning the burritos, that means you got to what's the process of canning? Don't you put in hot water or something like that so that the pressure? I have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to canning. I'm hoping one of you two will chime in because you guys seem like you've canned some things before.
Well, I'm a huge
big canners.
Then we deal with soggy burrito syndrome if we go the traditional route of cannery.
Oh, okay.
So I had immediately assumed we were using the crescent roll tech that Pillsbury has so wisely.
So in your mind, Bronze, the burrito itself is not yet cooked.
Yes.
So you're taking the components of a burrito and then wrapping it in the dough of one thin tortilla.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then pulling all of it out and then just cooking it all together. And how are we going to maintain the elasticity and softness of the outer burrito shell?
It'll be made from a new plastic tortilla composite.
Oh, and wow, plastics. That's
like an edible plastic?
That's the future right here.
Okay. All right. That'll probably do wonders for the body.
Yeah. Now, is that going to be one of the plastics that is
that's later down the line? We don't have to put it to the FDA till much later.
Well, I would like to know in advance.
No. We're gonna. The FDA will figure that out. We know we can.
I would like to know.
We can grease a couple guys. We can make sure that it just goes through the FDA.
So we are an evil company.
So 100%. We're evil.
Oh,
we're
okay.
evil.
All right.
Okay. We're canning burritos, Jesse. We're 100% evil.
As for the question of whether or not it would kill you, my diplomatic answer would be not immediately.
It's a good one. We all die eventually. Yeah, I would just say that. Like,
yeah,
something's got to kill you. Yeah. I think this is good. I think we should workshop it some more.
Okay.
Are
you serious?
I definitely feel like if we can't sell it to humans, we can sell it to animals.
Yeah.
And we'll call them Burritos.
Burritos, yeah.
And and it'll be easy. It'll be simple.
Great. Okay.
I think we got it. Yeah,
well, that concludes the meeting of whatever our new company is, and we'll circle back next week with we'll get a fourth person to talk to us about shipping and handling and how we're going to ship that across the country.
Now, I was going to say that we should name our company JJB because it sounds very pharmaceutical. I wanted to just put bronze first, but I realized calling it BJJ is not acceptable.
There's a restaurant called BJ's, Jesse. They do just fine.
Yeah, but BJJ sounds like,
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, we can't take it then, so it has to be JJB. Okay. Or JBJ, which is very good.
JBJ is not bad.
JBJ Pharmaceuticals.
Isn't that a lake, though?
The JBJ is a lake? Doesn't matter. Trademark won't matter.
Do you know the Great Lakes? Isn't there,
yeah.
Isn't there one of the Great Lakes?
Called JBJ?
No, but isn't that the initials of it?
Of a lake?
Yeah.
No. What?
I don't know. Let's see. JBJ Lake.
There's no, what do you mean?
Lyndon B. Johnson is what that comes up with. So I guess
that's LBJ. That's not JBJ.
Lake Lyndon B. Johnson. Why does that come up as JBJ Lake? Lyndon B. Johnson comes up as the number one. Well, then we've got great SEO because this is like shit SEO if this is what's coming up. It's great. We're going to make millions.
Yeah, JBJ. JB. Yeah, everyone's going to tune in and be like, JBJ, maker of the canned burrito. And yeah, like, and we can do like puff pieces in the New York Times about how we're using plastics for food.
Yeah.
Like we assure you, our plastic food will not kill you and is very filling.
That'd be great.
Like, why do you specifically say will not kill you? Our lawyers say that we must address that first.
Correct. Oh,
advice of legal counsel. I need to let you know that it will not kill you.
JBJ is a fucking boy group in Korea.
Yeah, but still, that's not American, and it's not a conglomerate of multinationals trying to kill everyone.
There's also an aquarium.
We are this close to being a Bond villain. We're very good.
There's also an aquarium. JBJ Aquariums.
We're still different, bro. All I'm saying is then we can buy the JBJ aquarium, and that's where we keep all of our sharks for when Bond tries to. Anyway, all I'm saying is just imagine Bronze in like one of those Dr. No suits with like a cat, like welcome, Mr.
That's
Bond.
how I always imagine. I
want that more than you know.
She was telling me stories about League of Legends earlier, and I'm like, oh yes, when you were in your get up, your James Bond suit, yeah. Well, did you know that at JBJ Aquarium, Jesse Cox, you can get a rimless flat panel starter kit with an approximate retail value of $109 if you buy a 45-gallon or 65-gallon aquarium.
What? What was that called again? A rimless what?
I closed it. A rimless flat panel starter kit.
None of that sounds like it's fish related. A rimless flat panel starter kit does not sound anywhere. If you said that's what's for sale, I'd be like, a car? What is that for? That is not fish related.
Apparently, if you search that, Walmart comes up. Walmart, Best Buy, Target. So that's apparently a thing. Anyways, if you haven't gotten the hint yet, there's not much going on in the world of Marvel right now. The news is dry. I kind of feel like Marvel pushed all of its stuff out in Q3 and was like, guys, we got to make all the money.
Even Morbius
October.
is
that
pushed.
got delayed. Yeah, till what? April? When's that delayed?
April 1st, which now I'm very worried for what that means.
Are we watching it?
I don't.
I mean,
I know we were debating it. I know we were talking about, it's MCU adjacent, but is it something that we have to watch?
That's why I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't know that we need to watch it, but also, like, now that it's April 1st, I'm like, are they pulling, like, a goof? Is this going to be, what's about to happen here? I'm like, marketing alone has got me interested in a movie that otherwise I do not care about. I'm like, the Morbius story isn't going to, like, change my life at all. But now I'm like, maybe there's something to see in it. I don't know. So we'll see.
That's kind of strange. I don't know if maybe it depends. April's what? 3 months away, 90, 80 days away. We'll see. Anything can happen, I guess. Do we get a leap year this year? Does February have a leap year? It's probably a Google search. I don't know why I'm asking people. Is February
2022 calendar? Year? No, this goes to the 28th.
Okay.
Wait, that's 2023. That was a lie. Nope, it goes to the 28th.
Okay. There you go. So yeah, we got a little bit more than 80 days, but yeah, I don't know about Morbius. I didn't realize that it was April 1st. That's kind of funny, but maybe the marketing team knows something we don't. It's the most of the news is just around Spider-Man No Way Home stuff. How do we feel about spoilers for that? Where are we? Because like most of the news is spoilery around the movie. Should I talk about it or should we just skip it?
Don't we have a spoiler tag?
We do have a spoiler tag. I guess I could put that up.
Put up the old spoiler. There you go. That's why we got it.
There you go.
I want to know what this is.
We'll leave that up. Although I would find it very hard to believe that you're not spoiled somehow yet on that movie. Anyways, the spoiler.
And watching this show.
Yeah. The spoiler is that Andrew Garfield finally gave some interviews talking about the movie. It was with Variety is where it was. Which is kind of weird because he's also doing press tour for like Tick Tick Boom, and he just kept getting asked about Spider-Man, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not in that. I'm not in that movie." So he finally came out, talked about it, and the gist of it was that he was really happy that he got to like wrap up his Spider-Man in a lot of ways, like get some closure on a lot of the moments in that movie. He also talked about how some of the like, I guess, more profound moments in the movie or beloved moments in the movie were just improv. When he says, "I love you guys," that was complete improv. That was on the spot and they kept it in the movie. They said something like he wasn't even sure they were rolling when he said that. He just wanted to express love to the other two Spider-Man, which is pretty badass. But yeah, it's not that, not too much of a news story, but he was able to talk about it, which I guess is a big deal.
One thing I hadn't realized is that the actors have probably bonded on top of just the characters, because I was reading another quote from him where they were comparing suits, all three of them, and they all would have conversations about the suit. And apparently Tom Holland's suit does not have zippers at the hands. So if he wants to use his phone, he has to use his nose. And he was super jealous because Andrew Garfield's suit is designed such that he can use his hands with relative ease. It was also pretty common knowledge, like because Tom Holland complained about the suit so much that it took him 45 minutes. Like he would have to plan his bio breaks 45 minutes in advance because it took him 45 minutes to get in and out of the suit. And then in the full, in the bits where he has the face mask on, they would have to pipe him fluids through an eye hole.
I saw that
to get it into him, because like that the suit was designed just for aesthetic. And meanwhile, they were like cutting back to like these quotes from Maguire from his films where he's like, it's actually really stretchy and comfortable, and it's like, kind of wearing a gymnast outfit. And I was like, yeah, because the aesthetics for costumes have changed such that some of them are like very much wearing a costume that is lycra and stretches and has zippers and is designed to be functional. And Holland's is not that at all. So they probably even bond. And then I think like Garfield was talking about how they bonded over the experience of being Spider-Man and playing that character and how it was different for each of them. And I think a lot of that chemistry came through on screen because they have that IRL. They've now been a part of this, like one of the most beloved comic book characters of all time. Like they've been a part of that.
Yeah.
sort of, you know, I guess like cultural phenomenon. What sucks, or what I'm curious about, is how that is for someone like Garfield that wasn't loved compared to Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland. He seems cool with it.
He seems super upbeat. Like I watched a lot of interviews. I watch a lot of the like Hollywood Reporter roundtable stuff that they do with a bunch of actors, and he's in a lot of those. He seems like a super casual, carefree guy, right? Like I don't think he's got a chip on his shoulder about it. At least now. Maybe he did back then, back when they basically said like, yeah, you're not doing another one of these. I remember those stories specifically, but you got to be able to move on and go to the next gig, I think, as an actor, or you're just not going to last.
I can't believe that his current, I don't want to say mood, but his current attitude, I feel, at least in my mind, seems inspired by the fact that he probably went through a rough time.
Yeah.
Of people being like, oh, your Spider-Man sucked. I can imagine that would hurt anybody. And so him being as happy and like willing to talk right now, I feel like, you know, you could definitely say he's in a good place now for sure. But I think that's because he got, you know, what as an actor you probably would be thrilled to have, which is like he had, out of 3 Spider-Men on screen, he had his moments that were like,
stand out.
Andrew Garfield. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
So
he also just shot a movie with Lin-Manuel and probably will be up for multiple awards for starring in that. So
sure.
He's doing great. He's doing great.
But like, you know, Spider-Man, man, it's different.
Yeah. One of the other things that I thought was interesting, and probably one of the things, he won a Golden Globe. Okay. I didn't realize were the Golden Globes last night? Did I just like blank on that?
Yeah, they just didn't televise them.
Oh, okay. And then what? They're going to like package it up for television? Is that the plan?
Wait, I don't think like they didn't do speeches and stuff. Like from my understanding.
Yeah, chat's just saying there's no show. It's dead. Crazy.
Yeah, that's because the Hollywood Foreign Press is like
a dog shit.
Not great.
Yeah.
Didn't they just like announce the winners and then like that was it?
I guess. Yeah, that's what chat's saying. Wild. I didn't know that. I usually watch all this dumb award shows. So yeah, I
You're
had no
our
idea.
awards correspondent.
I know. I'm the red carpet and award correspondent. I'll have to look up the winners of that. Maybe see who all won. It was probably 4 Tick Tick Boom, if I had to assume, which is very good. If you have not watched that, it's on Netflix. It is a musical though, or it does have singing, but it has Andrew Garfield singing. So that's an interesting predicament. But going back to the Spider-Man in the interview with, I think it was from Variety, he told a story about how, and this to me is like one of the coolest things because it's only something that like him and Toby could ever have lived through, or someone who has portrayed a character could ever live through like that. They both snuck into an opening night premiere of Spider-Man with mask and a hat on and just sat in the crowd and told no one and just like sat there and watched. That's got to be a remarkable moment to like hear the crowd and see the reaction of you just showing up on screen. I wonder what that feeling is like. It's got to be a unique one for sure.
Oh, I do that all the time.
You just sneak into theaters with
no. When like if we were to do a live show, right, and there was a thing beforehand, I would like sit in the back of the room and just be like, I'm gonna soak up all their good vibes.
Yeah.
Oh, I do that all the time. I love that.
It's a good idea.
Live stuff is great. So if you're a movie star, you don't get to do the live performance thing. So being able to sneak out and see someone's reaction, I think, is super, super healthy for you. Or vice versa, destroying, because if they hate it, you're like, no, my life.
Yeah.
So
the last I'll say about Andrew Garfield, this is for you, Jesse. He was in one of those roundtables, and Nicolas Cage was also there.
Oh, yeah.
And Nicolas Cage told a story about a horse named Rain Man and how Rain Man almost killed him nonstop. And Andrew Garfield, for like 20 minutes, could not stop laughing. And Nick Cage like losing his shit over this horse named Rain Man. It's like, this horse wanted to kill me. He's an asshole. He's like, it was the last scene. And the director said, get back on that horse. And Nick Cage goes, I looked at the director, I said, you son of a bitch, he's going to kill me. I'm not doing it. And Garfield is just like losing it the entire time. It was great. It was a good route.
The best part of that story is no matter how you would have told that, in my mind's eye, I know exactly how Nick Cage would have looked, how he would have sounded, what that horse was looking like. It's all I unabashedly love Nick Cage. I am so thrilled that man exists.
I'll have to link you the interview. It's like 50 minutes long. It's I'm gonna forget. It's Kang, the actor for Kang, Jonathan.
Sure.
I forget his last name. The actor for Kang, whatever his name is.
Sure.
It's the Imp from. I'm blanking on all the actors' name. The Imp from Game of Thrones. Nick Cage, Andrew Garfield, and then a newer actor, Jonathan Majors. Thank you. A newer actor who was in a film about being a retired porn star or something. It's hilarious.
I just typed in Nick Cage, and the first thing that popped up was Nick Cage goes viral with a story about a horse named Rain Man that wanted to kill me. I'm here.
Peter Dinklage, thank you. Yeah, it is great. It is a really good one. It's about 50 minutes long. But yeah, apart from that, not much. Sebastian Stan did an interview, not Marvel related, and then he got asked a bunch about Marvel stuff. He claims he's not in the new Doctor Strange movie. I don't know why they asked him that. I don't know why he would be. But he won't be in there. And then that's kind of it. Disney's, kind of just coasted on the Hawkeye at the moment. A lot of people are expecting a Moon Knight trailer soon because we don't know when that's coming out. I think Jesse just watched the YouTube video. He lost his shit. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just need to say this quote really quick. Andrew Garfield is literally like, isn't it something like horses can feel energy? And Nick Cage goes, no, I'm good with animals. I mean, seriously, it was a clear decision on Rain Man's part that he wanted to kill me.
You should watch it. It's good. It's good.
All right. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Let's let me pull up because this will be kind of the main gist of the show. Is looking forward to 2022. In terms of TV shows, we've got Moon Knight, which will sometime premiere.
Are we out of spoiler alert territory?
Yes. Yeah. Let me remove that. Thank you. Good idea. No more spoilers. Let's talk 2022. Okay. So Moon Knight sometime on Disney Plus this year. She-Hulk sometime on Disney Plus. Secret Invasion sometime on Disney Plus. Miss Marvel sometime on Disney Plus. And then, of course, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which will be next Christmas, on Disney Plus. So what is that? 4 shows and a special, I guess. I guess you could probably do one of those a quarter, I would imagine. So they've got to do one before April-ish, right? Like when did they first announce Loki? Let's see.
I'm trying to see, based on how they, based on how they have been doing Disney Plus stuff, they usually operate on it's
like a month
Marvel Star Wars flip. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And so right now it's Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And that ends February 9th. So I would imagine
bet you March.
In a perfect world, we get something in February?
February or March, yeah. If it's February, we're going to have to see a trailer in like the next week or two.
That's what I'm saying. We haven't seen anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it might not be the case. Maybe there's, I don't know, maybe it's something else. But usually they have like here is this Marvel property, and then that ended, and then Star Wars. And they've been doing that the entire time.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to change.
I am curious.
We haven't seen anything at all.
Right. I am curious in terms of the way in which these release and the order in which they release. The one that makes the most sense to put out now with where the MCU's at would probably be like She-Hulk, right? Because I feel like if they introduce Moon Knight and they basically do the origin story as Moon Knight is written in the comics, that's an Egyptian moon god. It's like a major aspect of that entire character. And I feel like Thor Love and Thunder would probably need to come out so that the audience understands that, like, oh, there's other pantheons, right? Because like Zeus is in this, and you have the God Killer. And so that would be a great way to introduce the other pantheons of gods, as well as like an Egyptian god, and then introduce Moon Knight. But maybe they do the inverse of that. Maybe Moon Knight comes out. It's like, no, there are other pantheon of gods. And Disney Plus people will understand that before they go into Thor Love and Thunder. Then everyone else in the general audience will understand that. But I don't know. It's hard to say. We'll see what they decide to announce. And I also think, we've talked about Moon Knight before on the show. That'll be an interesting one for them to do, just following the story of that character. He's not necessarily a pretty vanilla character.
I just realized, so I was going through the list of, the current information that we have that's been posted from Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And one of the things interesting is that we have a Moon Knight logo, we have a She-Hulk logo, but we have a Miss Marvel actual video footage.
Right.
We have a sizzle reel of that franchise or whatever, the Kamala Khan stuff. So that exists and nothing else does. Everything else is just a logo.
Yeah. They could put it out. I would think that I would think that Miss Marvel would probably come out before Secret Invasion, because Secret Invasion has to do with like Captain Marvel's involved in that, right? She would have to be. I know it's Nick Fury is probably going to be the like showrunner, but Captain Marvel has to be involved in that. And I would think that they would want all the Marvels, because there is a film called The Marvels coming out or whatever. They'd have to be somehow related or somehow involved in that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we don't get anything till after May.
And then it all starts. You think Doctor Strange kicks off in May, and then we just get nonstop Marvel from May till December.
I think so. Maybe that's it, because we've got nothing. There's no
announced
information.
Stuff.
Yeah, and it's nothing showing up in January, obviously, and February we have no announcements there. So like maybe we'll get. I don't know. I have no clue. It's crazy.
Yeah,
there's nothing.
It's okay. This is just prime
rewatch
time for us to just co-stream it. And it's fair use because our cams will be up.
There you go.
Over it. And
now we're getting topical. Someone already streamed all of Spider-Man, but like multiple people have streamed the entirety of No Way Home on Twitch. So unfortunately, we wouldn't be the first.
Is thinking so small. Like, I'm gonna restream MasterChef, I'm gonna restream anime. If we just go straight for Disney.
Yeah.
People
what are they going to do? Ban us for 48 hours? Can't stop us,
Bronze.
Disney.
Can't stop us. We'll smile and come back with a 12-hour stream, and we'll in no way impact anybody ever.
There you go.
Totally do it.
Oh, Bronze, you fool! This is why we need the three of us for our evil corporation. Don't you understand? There are 3 screens, Bronze. Each screen broadcasting one of the different Spider-Man franchise movies.
Oh, sick.
You can watch all 3 Spider-Men at the same time, culminating in a final stream of No Way Home.
Incredible.
You're welcome for creating the greatest streaming experience ever. And we dare you to shut us down, Disney.
Mm-hmm.
We dare you.
They're like, okay.
What are you, cowards? We dare you.
Okay. Jesse, they have my information, but they have both of our informations. Disney used to send us paychecks. We don't want to mess with them.
I did work at Maker. That's true.
Yeah, they got.
We dare.
They've got our
Disney.
home addresses. The mouse will show up at our door.
I heard you said you dared me, bitch.
Yeah, they'll just punch you, and then the door will shut, and the blinds will close. I've already seen the intro to that. I know how that one goes.
Yeah.
just shows up with a baseball bat with nails in it.
No. Mickey doesn't do the dirty work. That's when Goofy gets out the car with the baseball bat.
I'm gonna bash your face in.
Yeah. Him and Pluto walk in. They're just like, "What's up, bitch? Look, I know this is weird. I'm a dog. That's a dog. I'm on 2 legs. He's on 4. It doesn't matter. You're getting your ass beat."
Say what again? Yeah. A Royale with cheese. Yeah. Now I need that entire scene redone with Donald and Goofy. Holy crap. Yeah.
Do it.
Oh my God. That's so good. I feel like the little bit I played of Kingdom Hearts has also changed my opinions of them.
Oh, Donald's the strongest mage in video games.
That is
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of always thought like Goofy would be. I don't want to say I thought he would, but like the fact that he just runs around with the shield,
the fact
like
that his name's Goofy.
Yeah,
you
I
could
was
start
like,
with that probably.
Wow. But like his writing is inconsistent because I feel like
in the games.
No, because I haven't played them all.
Hearts,
no.
Writing is
Goofy's entire shtick if we're gonna have this conversation. Goofy's entire shtick in Kingdom Hearts is to just be the straight guy. He's the guy that's like, well, what do we do? And then Goofy's like, well, you idiot. This happened and that happened, so we should probably go do that. And then Sora's like, you're right, Goofy. And then they go and do that. That's his entire plot.
But it's so upsetting because they have him sound like a dingus the entire time. But then he's like making a lot of sense. And it's like, and it was like upsetting to me because he'd be like, maybe we should help him, Sora. Yuck. And I'm like, why is that's the good idea? That's the problem
with that entire franchise, though. It's like, oh no, the darkness is in your heart, Sora. It's like, get out of here. Stop. The only way to unlock Kingdom Hearts is to open your heart with the key of sorrows.
That's not real.
Like, what the shit are you saying?
That's not a real thing.
You stop talking. They're like, oh boy.
Look, you guys are making my mods be funny, and I can't allow this.
13th organization. And like only Zemnis can, like, what? Stop talking. Stop it, Mickey. My childhood.
I'm going to add my mods conversation here. Reggie says Goofy has a kid. Someone fucked Goofy. I know that's kind of crazy to believe. Also, Dark Arrows responded.
Goofy's wife was smoking hot
and said Goofy doesn't fuck. He fucks. You know what I'm saying? That's also pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, from based off of a Goofy movie, it does make sense.
One of the greatest movies of all time, by the way.
Oh yeah, so good. It makes sense for Goofy to be a tank, though. Like based off of that film, like where him having a shield and being a tanky character made sense to me because he seems like the type of person that would, like, protect the party. That is also coincidentally one of like the saddest movies I've ever seen. I feel like your opinion changes on it. The scene where he takes his kid to that restaurant.
Oh,
like that's like Chuck E. Cheese, and the entire time, like I think Max says something to him, and he looks so heartbroken. I've never wanted to like lock a child in a closet, but that made me want to do it. Where I was like, this single dad is defeated. Like you're killing him. You're killing his soul. Yeah,
but he
has one of the saddest scenes.
He does the power line dance at the end, and then it's all good. He cures cancer. I think is how that movie goes.
He wins his son's love, and that's all that matters. The end.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he definitely hooks up with Pete's wife. Let's not even pretend. Goofy is a home wrecker. He went over there and he was like,
he brought his baseball bat.
I'm your new dad now. Whatever Pete's kid's name is.
Yeah.
Like, yuck, I'm your new father now.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He does the perfect cast. I forgot about that. The old perfect cast.
It's how he catches bitches.
Mm-hmm. That's correct, Bronze. That's how he catches bitches. That is
how he pulls. Everybody knows Goofy pulls Mad Box. That's how he pulls bitches. Is with that cast.
I remember that line from the movie. I remember that line when Pete's like, Goofy, how do you pull Mad Box? He's like, well, I've got the perfect cast for bitches, Pete. That's how. But said in a Goofy voice.
I've got hoes in different area codes. Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah. Yeah, it's my favorite. That's my favorite Goofy line.
People are going to tune into this for the first time. Be like, what does this have to do anything with Marvel?
Somebody wrote, Bubba Nero from Jesse's chat wrote, Bronze going so far down the Kingdom Hearts and League rabbit holes we may never see her again.
You got to be careful with that. You can't do Kingdom Hearts and League at the same time. That's not good for anyone.
These are two drugs you don't want to mix.
You don't mix those drugs. Yeah, that's just safe video
your
gaming.
Uppers and your downers, and it's just not safe.
Yeah.
Ron's about to come on here next week and be like, so I wrote a Aqua Timo fanfic, and I just want to see if the two of them together, what that combo would be like.
Oh God!
It turned out very erotic. And we're like, what are you talking about? She's like, I just want to see what happens.
Goofy was a champion in League of Legends, an essay. Goofy would definitely have some kind of snare or Blitzcrank-esque pull based off of his greatest catch technique. This would most likely be
actually makes sense. That makes sense.
That'd be his ult.
That makes a ton of sense.
That's his ult. Otherwise, he just uses a shield, and it's like a Captain America daze. Like you could throw your shield, and it'll slow the guy. Mm-hmm. That's how that works. Yeah. That's his kit. So I'm just going to ask, do we want to talk about Marvel today? Because I could keep steering us back into the conversation for the show.
Well, okay.
Captain, Captain.
We were talking about some of the shows that are coming out.
Yeah.
So, is it just me, or do some of these seem like based off of, okay, I'll just name it. Miss Marvel seems kind of a little bit like it's in production hell.
They're doing reshoots right now. Reshoots aren't that uncommon, but they're doing reshoots at the moment.
But okay, what is the story of Miss Marvel going to be?
In terms of how she got her powers?
I mean, in terms of how she fits into everything going on in the MCU right now, and then how's it all gonna work?
I think she's probably gonna be the main catalyst for Young Avengers. Probably.
And you're assuming then that I guess I'm trying to figure out, does Young Avengers, is that a movie or is that a TV show?
That I don't know. I also don't know how, I don't know if they would just straight up call a movie Young Avengers.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know how that works.
I have a lot of questions about the Marvel TV pipeline versus the Marvel cinematic. Obviously, characters like Loki or Wanda or whatever, but the characters they're introducing in the TV shows, are they TV only? Are they going to be in movies? I mean, I guess yes.
An interesting question, because we are just now entering the territory where the shows are based off of characters that have not been previously introduced to us on the big screen.
Yeah.
So I think we'll finally get an answer, or finally see how they're handling the fact that up until now, the TV shows have been completely optional watching. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's something we've been saying since the beginning, right? You can skip Hawkeye, Winter Soldier, and Captain America, and WandaVision, and it takes a 2-second kind of recap in Doctor Strange, and you'll be fine. At some point, something happened in Westview. It wasn't great, and Wanda has done the growth allegedly to know that it was bad. And then Doctor Strange, based off the trailer, at least, they'll move past it. Now, obviously, that's just a trailer, but they acknowledging it doesn't mean that, you have to go and watch that entire show. So I am curious, how they're going to handle characters that are introduced completely from, because I'm assuming Kang, they're not just going to be like, this is Kang, he's here. I'm sure they're going to do some background there, versus do you think they're going to do that? Do you think they're just going to be like, this is Kang?
I think
you should already know him.
No, I think it isn't going to be you should already know him. I think it will be
full on origin.
A TV show thing you watched, didn't matter to this story.
Yeah, it'll be a different Kang. Mm-hmm. I think every time we see Kang from now on, it'll be a different Kang.
Which, I mean, for that character makes sense.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I think the next time we see Kang will probably be in Ant-Man, Quantumania or whatever next year in 2023. And it'll be a completely different Kang from the one we obviously saw at the end of Loki. Yeah.
I don't.
The movie will probably fade in on him in the future, and it'll be like Earth 2045 7 or whatever. And like Kang will be walking around.
A Saturday morning cartoon intro if I've ever heard one. Earth. Yeah. I am very curious. I noticed this the other day that the only new origin story thing we've had was Shang-Chi. Other than that, every other origin has been attached to something else recently.
Yeah.
So
it's to get people to watch it in the first place with Hawkeye and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. And so all these other origin stories of characters are ones where it's like, oh, I mean, I guess we got their story, but we don't really know much about them. Or they do the thing where recently they're like, they were the villain, and now they're a good guy. And you hated them for 8 episodes, but now stay tuned for their new show coming soon. Like that kind of thing. I'm very interested to see what they're going to try and do moving forward, because even the next few movies, most of them are just straight up like, here is part 5 of this franchise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well,
I'm curious how Blade, for example, will play out.
I think Blade will be like, I think Moon Knight is the first. Well, I think the end of the Eternals is the first entry into the world of Blade, right? Like the Black Knight will definitely be somehow related to Blade. And I think Moon Knight will definitely be involved in that same world some way. I don't know, like, where... I don't know, unless, like, somehow Morbius gets involved. I don't know where, like, the idea of a vampire enters into the MCU. Because, like, the second that they open Pandora's box, then vampires are everywhere in the MCU, potentially. Right?
Do you think...
Then they just exist. Otherwise, what the fuck does Blade hunt? Like, what is his arch nemesis? I don't know.
I mean, that makes valid sense. Yeah.
Unless it's just more mystical shit like Doctor Strange deals with on a lesser level, power-wise.
Yeah, I think, like, Doctor Strange kind of started the conversation about, oh, well, magic's real. And there are wizards, and people just don't know about it. I think, like, you could generally assume there are vampires in the MCU, and they've kept a low enough profile that people just don't know about it.
Well, that also, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the Black Knight fight Dracula, who lives on the moon and has spaceships? Like, isn't that a comic book story?
I don't know, but that definitely sounds like it.
I think that's a comic book story.
People are mentioning that the vampires apparently do exist as of Loki. So, I don't know. I mean,
was there like a reference to him or something?
Yeah, but I think that could have been like a multi-dimensional thing instead of like they exist on Earth. I don't know what that meant exactly, but the thing that I think is interesting is Morbius could be sort of that gateway into that world where it's a dude who becomes a vampire rather than like I was bit by a man. Although like I don't know. I Bronze is right in that it's like same thing with mutants. How do you fit them into the world so developed already? Unless you do some wild Doctor Strange stuff.
The wild thing to me, the when you're like, how do you fit mutants? I'm like, well, mutants make perfect sense. But vampires, that's where I draw the line. Like, that's where I'm at mentally. Of like, wait a minute, that's a really stupid thought, but for real, like, what the fuck, vampires in the MCU? What the hell? But it's right. Like, it's crazy for me to think that in the next 2 to 3 years, Samuel fucking L. Jackson could be co-star with a goddamn vampire hunter. Like, he could just be 5 feet from a vampire, and Samuel L. Jackson just could be like, yeah, This is where we're at in the MCU.
It's not that crazy when you think about it, because aliens. Like once you get to like aliens
that
fly on other aliens, it's fine. You're
but
like,
that fucking
the mental disconnect is so weird
being
for me.
like, when I was young, aliens attack. Like that.
We're gonna get a lot of that.
I was like,
100%. We're gonna get a lot of that.
The moment you've all been waiting for. A literal man came out of the Pacific Ocean and is still there. He's still there,
It's weirder to me, though, to be like, yeah, vampires exist. By the way, there's a guy in the middle of the ocean, but vampires exist. That's stranger to me.
There's going to be a character that's like, when I was young, vampires attacked. And I saw you, Blade.
Yeah, that's going to be
that made me
Blade.
Not be afraid anymore, because you were just a guy with fangs and a sword. And I thought, if he can do it, I can do it too. You know? Like, I'm sure that'll be it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the character that's like,
Lady Blady.
When I was young, a man came out of the ocean and no one addressed it for 25 years.
And so
one
then
said a thing.
I went
it's like
deep
we're all
sea
ignoring
diving
the man
and
in the
Namor was
ocean.
there. Yeah.
It's like no one wants to talk about the man in the ocean. An entire Christmas season went by and no one mentioned the man in the ocean.
Here's a real question I have for you, Jesse. You ready? How many Marvel IP have to come out until one of them references the man in the ocean?
I'm gonna let you know, I am convinced that we're gonna see multiple movies where, like, the next year, no one's gonna bring this up. No one's gonna bring up the man in the ocean, and I'm gonna lose my mind. If Doctor Strange doesn't have a line about a man who lived in the literal core of the planet. We are an egg for a giant man. And now that man is stone in an ocean. There would have been tidal waves. Like, the world would have ended. And whatever. It's fine. And then a god appeared in the sky and was like, I'm looking for 30 people here.
I think Black Panther Wakanda Forever is when we get a mention of that. I think that's when it happens. November 11th, 2022.
Movie's not going to make November 11th, 2022. If
that
happens,
won't.
I'll be blown away.
It probably won't, but yeah. I think we'll get a Namor reference, and then Namor's going to be like, there was a man in my goddamn ocean.
I would love it if, like, the Atlanteans appear like, we kept to ourselves for thousands of years, and y'all let a man come out of the planet. He killed everyone. Our entire kingdom is gone.
Yeah.
How dare you? Someone has to say something. It can't, like, we've gone through 3 shows at this point. 3 shows in a movie.
But we don't know the timeline of all that stuff.
I was going to say, I was like, I don't fully understand the timeline.
Yeah. Because Eternals, took place 3 weeks after? No. Was it years or weeks after Endgame?
If it was weeks, everyone would be talking about the giant man. Everyone. If it was weeks?
No, I'm sorry. I phrased that. Eternals took place. No, I think I phrased it right. Eternals took place like weeks or years after Endgame.
It cannot be weeks. JP, if it's weeks, that means that for sure during Hawkeye, the biggest news story in the world would be like, giant spacemen. Are we doomed?
Okay.
There would be no Christmas.
That's
there
true.
Would be people in the streets that are like,
Jesse,
what if not even care about Thanos anymore? Thanos would be like yesterday's news.
What if
giant red spaceman?
What if the reason, because we haven't gotten a timeline answer from Marvel and all this, what if it's because this is all happening in different parts of the multiverse? What if they do something like that?
Where it's I suppose they always have that option.
Where if like something doesn't do well, like money-wise, they're like, oh yeah, Eternals was in a different part of the multiverse.
No, if they do that, that's DC, and I do not want that
you
shit.
think that's some DC
I don't want
shit?
the DC multiverse. No.
Yeah.
No,
I will say this, like, after watching Hawkeye, I do feel like after everything that's happened, like, still talking about the initial alien attack seems just so juvenile in a way. Like, even Kate being like, when I was young, aliens attacked. It's like, yeah, and when you were a teenager, half the Earth's population got snapped into fucking oblivion.
Yeah, but that wasn't the catalyst for her to fight. It might have pushed her further. Do you know what I mean? Where I get what you're saying, yeah.
It recontextualizes things. It's like, oh yeah, when I was young, there was an earthquake and it sucked. And then I grew up and a million volcanoes popped up out of the earth and they all exploded, instantaneously. Like, it's just so weird because, like, they have that scene with Yelena, and I was like, that to me is like a lot more, like,
character defining, or
yes, where it's like coming back and seeing the wallpaper change. Where I was like, this is so much more interesting. I'm not interested in rehashing the events that happened in New York, like at this point, like so many years ago in our timeline. Like the fact that they still keep referencing the events from New York. And I understand that's a part of Kate's origin story. I'm just saying, like, it seems so small in the grand context of things. So you'll never hear me say this again, probably. Well, maybe once in a while. But Jesse does have a point with, like, there's a man that came out of the ocean and y'all are pressed about aliens. Like, to be talking about that after everything that's happened, even if that hasn't happened yet, the fact that a purple man came from the sky and nuked half of the planet's population for a handful of years and causing a bunch of terrorists and all these other things to run amok, that is, like, probably ranks higher on the list of trauma than, like, when I was a kid, aliens attacked. I don't know. It just, and I understand, like, there's no ranking that too. Let me be fair and say she was a kid when that happened, so that probably stuck with her more.
Well, and also her dad died because of it.
Yeah. But from an overall narrative, like, just like from an overall, like, looking at this movie from like a bird's eye view, it's so weird to even talk about that now. Like, it's so weird to even talk about the aliens now, where it's like,
it does seem a little trivial in the grand scheme of things. Yeah.
Look at all this other stuff that's happened.
Yeah.
Bronze, you have a great point in that until you brought this up, I never once thought about something that I probably should have thought about, which is what happened to Kate and her mom during the blip. It seems to me that they were fine.
Yeah, they didn't really talk about it, I don't think.
It seems to me they were fine. So basically, she grew up during a time where she experienced half the population disappearing.
Yeah.
And she seemed to have a pretty reasonable childhood. So it definitely feels like one of those, either the rich were totally fine, or like, I don't know. As a child, I imagine that would have been during her most formative years.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, no, people just vanished.
Well, it is. I look at it a lot of times with how crazy the MCU gets in terms of, like, the events that happen, right? Aliens attacking, half the population being snapped out of existence, a man in the fucking ocean. I look at it as like a weird D&D campaign when the DM's like trying to impress the players and like level up the power of the world. And now it's just getting to a point where, like, it's fucking crazy, right? Like, it's straight bananas. And like every single one of those events could be, character defining. It could be character ruining. It could be so many different, long-term, like, if you think about it now, if you apply it to a real world scenario, if half the fucking world's population snapped out of existence at this very moment, the world would not exist the way it does in the MCU. I think that's a fucking pipe dream. Life would just not continue. It would be absolute fucking bedlam. There would be just nonstop insanity running around. Anarchy
and I
would
think
occur. Yeah,
that's for me
that's
where
part of the existence of the MCU, where you have to like forego a lot of that.
I think like I had to assess that about one of the first, when we first were reviewing Hawkeye, one of the first episodes I said that like Kate Bishop for me just wasn't likable. And I had to like stop and assess like why that was, because I didn't have an issue with the actress. Like, I don't know why she was so unlikable. And then I realized, like, for me, it was just too real. Like in like, especially like in a post-pandemic, world, to have like this character that's so insulated from everything with her wealth, where she can break a clock tower and she's fine. it was hard for me to watch, and I had to like sit with that and be like, do I dislike Kate Bishop because I'm disliking the writing for the character, or do I dislike Kate Bishop because it's just really fucking weird to go from a show with Anthony Mackie's, Captain America talking about how he has to sell his family's boat because they don't have fucking money, to a character who destroys a clock tower and is like, lol, whoops. Like that for me was like a little bit of a whiplash where I was like, this dude can't afford to keep he just got denied for a loan to keep his family's boat. Like he's over here saving people and also trying to figure out how to like support his family. And then like I said, seeing Clint kind of like living this like life where he does have to worry about things like money. Like for me, it made her unlikable. And so many people were like, I don't understand why Bronze doesn't like Kate. But it's like, because it's hard. It's a little bit hard to see somebody that's like so freaking wealthy kind of get away from everything like scot-free. And they address it at a couple of times during the show.
Yeah.
Like when Clint enters her apartment or enters like their flat and is like, I'm in the wrong industry, and it probably seems a bit hypocritical because I'm a huge fan of Iron Man, but I think like, I don't know, recontextualize like in the world we're living in now versus the world we were living in when Iron Man 1 came out. It's just a little bit tough to see people like insulated from their own actions and stuff like that with like a cushion of wealth. And I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get to that until the very last 3 seconds of the last episode where her mom says, you've never had to deal with the consequences of anything. I thought that there would be that character growth somewhere earlier in the series, and it didn't happen. It was just kind of a throwaway line at the end where she's like, all right, mom, go to jail. And it was like, I don't know, that was a little jarring for me because it was definitely this thing where I was like, I kind of thought that was going to be her trajectory.
Bronze, if it'll make you feel better, all you have to remember is all those awards and all the things that she won were done during the 5-year period where half the people on the planet were gone. So really, that's more of an asterisk for her.
Yeah.
Really, it's more of like
anything that was given out.
She did all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the people that were left.
That's true.
Like, makes you wonder if she would have won if half of maybe the best archers were snapped away.
That's right.
Saying. She wasn't as good as people thought. Yeah.
100%. I get it.
Y'all are so shady. It makes me laugh. Like, I think I'll say something where I'm like, that's a little harsh. And y'all be like, bet. Let me add some seasoning onto this.
She
didn't even really win those awards.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now I'm thinking about that, Jesse. You're right. Like, imagine you're like always the number 2 track runner in your school.
Someone gets blipped back.
And then you're number 1.
Yeah. And now suddenly the blip is the best thing that ever happened to you.
I wonder they'll
changed your life for the better. And everyone else is depressed and you're like, number 1. There'll be some streamers who'd be like, it's my
got the promotion. Yeah. Half of Twitch is gone. I'm finally gonna have viewers.
That's gotta be a story that they tell. But I'm trying to think like what that would be.
Oh, please, let me pitch the idea right now because it's the simplest idea.
Where does it fit in?
I've said it fits in perfectly in the story of the non-superhero Marvel characters. I don't know what we call it, but it's like,
normies? Like, what are we talking?
Yes. I'm talking about like the friends. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay,
like, the sidekick non-hero friends are all
like
in a
Nick
show.
Fury? Is that what you're saying? That
No,
group?
I'm talking about
Shield?
like
or just like the brother of Hawkeye or something like that.
No, I'm talking about like oh my god, the 2 characters from WandaVision, the 2 friend Darcy,
yeah, okay.
Darcy and Agent Woo, like that, like those types
Katie
of characters.
from Shang-Chi and Ned and MJ and well,
and
Ned's
a
mage, I guess, no, or wizard.
And then, it can't be any of the Spider-Man kids, unfortunately. But, like, those people. And then the villain is a guy who was successful because
of the
everyone got snapped. And he's like, he's like a Earth villain where he isn't like, I have superpowers. He's just like a wealthy dude who's like, because everyone got snapped, it was my time. And it's like, that kind of villainy where he's like, I'll do whatever it takes to stay on top. Like half the population was gone and I earned it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you think about it, Jesse, they've already done a lot of the footwork on that. Like with the graffiti in Hawkeye where it says Thanos was right. And then the entire Flag Smashers storyline, which because of the pandemic writing changes basically boiled down to like, well, my life was made better by a unified world and now you've undone all of that. So there's like a lot of people that are like, Thanos was right.
Oh my God. Oh, it's so perfect. Because then, watch this. Here's the twist at the end. Then, the entire so this group, whatever this group is of like cool dudes, is being funded, and they think it's like Nick Fury, like whatever this group of cool cats that we put together, and they're being funded to like fight this guy who's like this crime lord dude, but like maybe he was a retired teacher before, something like fun.
What if his name was Pen King?
No, wait for it. You're ruining the surprise. And then they defeat this guy and they bring him like he became very powerful in New York during the snap. And like he is, he's running the town now secretly. And then he gets taken down. And then the reveal in the post-credit scene is the one who was funding them is the Kingpin and he's still alive. And he's like, I'm taking back my territory.
We have to save Kingpin's reveal for the super hit upcoming show Echo. In 2023. Everyone's excited.
I'm looking forward to watching the brilliant actor and just complete powerhouse Vincent D'Onofrio walk in a straight line saying, "You're starting to annoy me," and walking like doing a Terminator walk. Because I think that's what we expect from great Kingpin.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to more of that. Walking in a straight line like an android talking about. Clearly, that's the best use of D'Onofrio's acting skills. It's not like, he's one of the greatest actors of our generation and his work in The Cell, Men in Black, and Full Metal Jacket is unparalleled. No, we should just have him walk in a straight line and throw a teenager around.
That's, look,
Oscar
that man will never not be my favorite alien.
You guys blew my mind. And still to this day, when I re-encapsulate my entire childhood of like, yeah, that's Vincent D'Onofrio is the guy from Men in Black. It blows my mind. Can't believe it. If we are talking Bronze, I want to use your comment as a jumping off point for a conversation. If we're talking about people that I'm interested in seeing in the MCU for the first time, Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, that's going to be incredible. I think she is a phenomenal actress. If you've never seen Orphan Black and you want to get familiar with the actress, definitely go check that out. Incredible show, an incredible performance from her. And I also want to see how Christian Bale does. I don't know what a Christian Bale in the MCU. Like the last stuff we got out of Christian Bale was Batman. And I wouldn't say I liked him as Batman, but I wouldn't say his performance was like Christian Bale Batman. It was very reduced.
It's weird. I feel like I have a legitimate.
I guess Ford versus Ferrari. You're right.
I have a legitimate curiosity about how he feels about doing these types of films.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
I legitimately wonder if he approaches them like the same way he approaches another movie, because a lot of actors have made it kind of clear that they don't like these types of movies. Even Robert Downey Jr. commented on that a little bit, where he kind of felt like he didn't want to play this one character for the rest of his life, because I think it is in a lot of ways restricting as a performer to just kind of do these blockbuster films and not do the type of projects you want to do, right? So even though we know Christian Bale's a pretty great actor, I wonder if he's going to approach this and be like, I'm going to put on the performance of a lifetime, or if he's going to be like, I'm going to collect my multi-million-dollar check and bounce.
I think he probably took this. So I think he and Oh boy, who is the actor who is in the new Batman movie who's playing the Penguin? My brain just died.
Oh, Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, yes. I think he and Colin Farrell love like becoming not themselves. Like I would imagine
True.
Christian Bale like enjoyed to the nth degree becoming Dick Cheney for Vice. You know what I mean? Like he did not look like
that was an incredible performance
all,
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absurd.
So I can imagine
the fact that he did that.
Yeah, like Marvel selling him on we're gonna make you not look like no one's gonna know it's you if they're coming into the movie not knowing you're in this movie. Like we're gonna because as a character, you know, that God-Butcher looks like kind of like he doesn't look human.
I do want to interject here real quick. Apparently in August there was leaked images of his character in the new movie. If you want to see him,
we have what he looks like.
We have. I don't know if this is going to be CG'd or what, but this was leaked. That's him. That's Christian Bale as the God-Butcher.
Can you go to can you just find like just Google a nice little Gorr? You know. Yeah. Just Google like what does Gorr look like? And you'll see he definitely doesn't look like a human dude.
He looks like this.
Yeah. I think they definitely 100% were like, this is what you get to be. And as an actor, I guarantee he was like, I'm in, put me into makeup.
Well, he also kind of has like a fucking badass role. If they're like, you get to be this dude, and then you're just going to kill a shit ton of gods. We're going to have you kill Zeus. We're not sure he's playing that yet.
Over Jesse's Christian Bale impression.
It's me, Christian Bale. I know it's all yeah.
Gorr, like the God-Butcher, is one of my favorite comics for sure. Like comic runs. If you haven't read it, and you want to spoil yourself a little bit for Thor, by all means do. But it should be very badass. Like he should be a phenomenal character.
Here's the problem. He should be. However,
I trust
putting him
Taika.
in a movie. I trust them to make him look cool, but he's being put in a movie with how many storylines and main characters? Like it's just worrisome. There's
does Thor have
so
a lot?
many. Jane has to become Thor. We have Valkyrie's storyline. Thor has to come back. Gorr has to have a story. I mean, like there's a lot of plot.
But there's like 4 or 5. Yeah,
it's a lot for 2 hours. That's a lot.
Yeah,
it definitely is a lot. But I will also say, like, that concerns me less than just like some of the quotes that have come from the camp making the film. Like they're just saying stuff that I'm like, why is this a bunch of buzzwords and you guys are alarming me? Like the fact that what was it that Taika said a couple months ago where he's like, the fact this movie exists is actually insane. Like the fact that he had like all these quotes and it was like, you're not inspiring any confidence in me. Like I have, based off of history and based off of the cast, I think the movie's going to be good. But then every time they talk about it, I'm like, this sounds kind of Venom-y. Because you know, like the quotes leading into Venom were like, oh gosh, why can't I think of his name right now? Tom Hardy saying stuff like, oh yeah, it's absolutely brilliant, you know, this movie, and it's my favorite 45 minutes of the film were cut.
Oh,
and I'm like,
hello, Tom Hardy, it's me, Christian Bale.
And I
still trust Taika. The quote, by the way, was, Love and Thunder is so wild, it's almost like it shouldn't be made. That's what he said.
Yeah, where I was like, what does that mean? That sounds so much like Venom, where it's like, this movie is so insane, my favorite 45 minutes were cut. I'm just like, what is that? I don't get it. I still think it's going to be good, but it's like, hearing quotes like that, I'm just like, what does that mean? What he said? Like, what does that mean?
I didn't dive too deep into some of these quotes, but he also said, well, just between me and you and the readers, I've done some crazy shit in my life. He reiterated to Empire. I've lived like 10 lifetimes, but it's the craziest film I've ever done. He says, clarifying that what the quote crazy that he has created because it shouldn't quote shouldn't make sense is what he says. If you wrote down all the elements of this film, it should make sense. It almost like it shouldn't be made. If you walked into a room and said, I want this and this and this, who's in it? These people. Why are you going to call it Love and Thunder? I mean, you'd never work again. Maybe I won't after this. There'll be far more emotion in this film and a lot more love and a lot more thunder, he said, and a lot more Thor if you've seen the photos.
A lot more thunder. That does sound like all buzzwords, though.
Am I wrong? That's like just buzzword.
Yeah.
Now I understand that some of this could be because he has to somehow give an interview about him making this movie with no spoilers, with the mouse standing over his back, being like,
it's probably
don't
true.
fucking say anything. Don't fucking
say shit, bitch.
But it still is just like, Taika's a smart guy, so for his quotes in an interview to sound so stupid, it was a little alarming to me, where I was like, what are you, a YouTuber? Why are you just repeating the title of the film 3 different times and saying it doesn't make sense? It shouldn't make sense. It kind of doesn't. I mean, if somebody else made this movie, they'd probably never work again. I might not work again, but here we are. I'm like,
yeah,
it's got love, it's got thunder, and it's got Thor.
Man,
some
of these, what? The other quotes here, it says, quote, sometimes two people come together to inspire the world and change the cinematic landscape forever. And then there's me and Chris Hemsworth, who are just too cool to care about anything except making movies that bring absolute joy. The film is the craziest thing I've ever done, and I'm honored to bust my ass and have a nervous breakdown so you can all see it in May 2022. I don't know.
And like I said, maybe that's because they're like, hey, you have to do interviews and promote this film, but also do not say anything about this film. So he has to be like, okay, I'll talk about the title and talk about how much love there is in it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited for the film. It's got Gorr's incredible character.
But I will say there's a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah.
There's a lot to cover in one movie.
Well, I think one of the biggest too is like if we are getting Lady Thor, that's not a permanent role, right? Like you can't just toss around the title of Thor. I don't think that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
And Hemsworth has definitely said like he's not done playing Thor, and he'll play Thor as long as he can, in terms of as long as people want him around. So I don't know. It's also Portman's re-entry back into the MCU after leaving. I think after Thor 2, because she didn't want to work with what was it, Kenneth Branagh anymore. There was a bunch of like drama on the film, if I recall. But yeah, there's a lot of giant actors in that film, without a doubt. Russell Crowe, for fuck's sake, is Zeus. I don't even know what that means. That's just a wild statement to comprehend. And we're going to see more pantheons of gods. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes in May. That'll be a wild one. Jesse's just over there shaking his head.
I keep thinking about the line bronze red. Taika Waititi, amazing. Like on so many levels. Although I think it's very funny that he's like, me and exactly the same Chris Hemsworth, we like don't care about this stuff. It's such like it reminds me of every friend who's like, me and my other friend, the cool one, we're the exact same. And I totally get like Taika Waititi is his own type of cool, but it just cracks me up that like, yeah, that's definitely a friend thing to say. Like me and my very attractive friend, who I am equally as attractive as him, we think that like that kind of thing. It's very funny to me. I don't know why.
Listen, Jesse, me and John Bernthal, we're just a couple of nerds.
Crazy guys.
And in this new D&D
That's how me
campaign,
and Henry Cavill are, actually. We talk PCs all the time.
Yeah. With this new
so
D&D campaign, you're going to see me and the Burn just do what we do, which is, roll dice and do our thing. And you'll be able to see some of our chemistry on screen. Because obviously we're equally hot and we're equally talented, and
just two very talented people hanging out. It's such a funny statement.
And John Bernthal.
And what sucks is I know it has nothing to do with him and everything to do with the fact that he had nothing to say. Like that is I am at the bottom of the barrel trying to find things to tell you because I got nothing to say about this project that I can tell you. Yeah, it's just very funny that it's like it's the same level of like kid trying to give book report having read only half the book. Like yeah, no, a lot of stuff in there. That's good. Huge fan of this character. And like, oh, why'd you like him? He's really attractive. And like, it's like, okay, cool, thanks.
The one film that we have seen a trailer for, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, that launches in May 6th, 2022. That one. I don't know if concern's the right word. I don't know what the emotion.
That one concerns you, really?
Yeah, only because the trailer concerns me.
Why does the trailer? The trailer looked dope. What are you
talking about? The trailer definitely looked dope, but you were talking about like the multiple storylines and the fact that they're like bringing in what if Doctor Strange, like he's in there.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be an absolutely batshit insane film. I feel like, which is exciting. Like it's one of the few films where I'm going into that and I don't know what's gonna happen at the end of it, but I'll probably have. Like
two Doctor Strange's kiss.
They're getting into some like real multiverse shit. They're getting into the thick of it, right? I feel like we got into the thick of that a little bit with No Way Home, but this is like full on whole hog multiverse, literally of madness. And I don't know what the outcome of that looks like.
That's some whole hog multiverse right there. You know that's a show.
Yeah.
Like Marvel.
That's on Adult Swim. The whole hog multiverse.
That's a whole hog multiverse right there.
Yeah.
Dang, I don't know about that.
And we also have American Chavez in that as well. Giant character that they're just going to like throw in.
Maybe she's in it for 2 seconds.
She's definitely in it. She's in the trailer. She's like opening portals and shit for him.
Yeah, but like so was Kit Harington, and he was in that movie for like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I can't argue that he was.
You can introduce a character and be like, "Oh, they're in the movie."
But Kit Harington doesn't do anything except just being sad. American Chavez like opens portals to the other multiverses. Like,
I'm excited for the American Chavez like rebrand. Because
you've talked with the comics and all that. You talked about that for sure.
Holy menstruation. I had to read that. Yeah. This comic was hyped up to me and she literally says, "Holy menstruation, what are you doing here?" And I was like, and it became a meme in my chat for a month after I reviewed that comic where I was like, "Oh my ovaries, Jesse, how are you?"
No, but Bronze, that's because she's a woman, and that's how
jumping uteruses. I can't believe you're here today. Like, who the
jumping uteruses?
Said, holy menstruation. Who the like? They wrote that and printed it, and it scarred me for life. And I was just like, maybe we don't need women in comics. Like, that's literally was my reaction. I was like, maybe we should just not do it because I just read the words "holy menstruation."
Bronze, can you say that again? Me and Jesse need to remove ourselves from the shot here. What did you say again? One more time. We're gonna edit that part.
Maybe we should delete women. I said maybe we should just delete women because I just had to read the words "holy menstruation."
Is that a good? So Reggie, are we good? Can you edit that in so me and Jesse aren't on screen? That'd be great. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, if you could just keep us out of that.
Yeah, just keep us out of that commentary there, Jesus. We do have here's a still from the trailer. There's also one where she's like in a portal with the other folk, but there she is with her star jacket hanging out somewhere.
The character's cool. I just don't think it's ever been written properly. So I'm excited to see what they do with it because I think, so many people always like, anytime we critique anything, I notice this like with the Kingpin where they're like, well, in this comic, y'all realize a lot of dumb stuff has happened in comics, right? So using that as a justification to continue it in the shows is not good enough for me, where it's like, Like, we joked about the Thanos helicopter. Like, to me, I don't understand, like, if we say, oh, this didn't really work, for people to be like, well, that's what they did in the comics. That doesn't mean it's going to work on screen. It's a completely different medium.
Man. You just made me think
and also,
about the Deadpool thing where Thanos is just saying,
hey, Deadpool.
Oh,
just because something happens in the comics doesn't always mean it translates super well on screen or that it has to happen that way on screen, you know? Yeah. So this is one of those cases where I hope like the rewrites make the character more interesting, you know?
True. Sorry. There's another shot of the front of American Chavez, at least half of it, from the trailer as well. So seeing scenes like this is also just like, what the fuck is this movie actually going to be? Like, it's going to be
I want more visual effects where if I leave, I can be like, I need to see this high next time. You know what I mean?
The first Doctor Strange definitely had that effect. I feel.
Ooh, yeah,
also, the music. The music is phenomenal in the first Doctor Strange, and I believe he's back on board. I'm forgetting the composer to it, but I believe he's back on board for the second one. So you're not wrong about that, Jesse.
It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be super fun. I'm not even stressed about this movie. I am.
I do want to see how Raimi it gets. Like what? Like,
I hope it has that level of like Raimi scare, you know, where it's kind of like Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
Well, instead of it being like Evil Dead, it's definitely gonna be more Army of Darkness for sure because it's Disney.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. This should be fun.
Yeah, should be cool.
What in the flippin' tamales are you guys talking about?
What?
Sorry, I'm just gonna insert
How dare you?
all the I have a spreadsheet of all the lines that have said. What in the flippin' tamales are you talking about?
Have you never seen Evil Dead? Bronze?
No, I have. I'm just doing a bit.
Okay.
Have you never?
Danny Elfman is the composer for Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, is that true? Amazing.
Is he? They didn't get Giancarlo or whatever his name is.
I think. Wait. Okay, I have a question. So I watched Evil Dead on a less than.
Oh, you're right.
Less than legitimate DVD when I lived in India with my brother.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes those things are labeled incorrectly. But it was from a verified retailer.
Look, when people return them to Blockbuster, you know, sometimes the wrong movie gets put in there. It's how
Where is this going?
She's wondering if she's actually seen those movies.
Okay, so I watched 2 Evil Deads with my brother. One of them was very blue. Like it was actually trying to be it was actually trying to be like a horror film, and there's a girl that goes into the woods and like has all her clothes ripped off.
Evil
and
Dead
there was
1. Yeah.
Okay, so that was it. And then the second one I watched was basically that same plot except funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have seen them. And then there's one where there's like skeletons and stuff, and then like he's like
Army of Darkness. That's
okay.
Full on. That's a comedy. That's a full on comedy.
I was never sure if like that kind of not really appropriate for children one, because it followed the plot of the second one so accurately. There was a period of time in my life where I was like, is this bootleg DVD I picked up like just like the porn version of it, or is it like because it seemed like the plot was the exact same between the two.
Did you watch a porn version of Evil Dead?
No, well, it wasn't.
Was there porn in it? Because that was probably the porn version.
No, well, no, it was just like slightly blue. It was more adult than like the second.
The first
movie.
One was like pretty indie.
Is it?
I think they're all pretty like indie.
And there was titties in it. There was there was, and then there was like the tree thing in the woods.
Yeah.
Doesn't she get banged by a tree? Okay. So yeah, no, I watched the right one. I watched a legit movie, I think.
Yeah. like I don't know how to describe it to you, Bronze, but Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2 are literally like the same movie, except the only character that's the same is Bruce Campbell.
Okay, I have seen them. Yeah.
It's like a weird. I don't even know if it's meta.
I haven't from a legitimate retailer.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second one in a long enough time to know why it's remade, but it's straight up just like almost shot for shot the same as the first movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. For a while, I wondered if I had found just a blue version of the film because the first one is so different from the second one, and the first one was definitely not appropriate for the age me and my brother watched it at.
Yeah, did you watch?
But then the second one was hilarious, so it was fine. You know what I mean? Like, but the first one, I was like,
"They're good. We're good." The last question I have for you guys here, as we are a little bit short on time. We actually do have a timetable now for the show. For anyone watching, and it's 1 hour. We're a little bit over. What do you guys think that Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special is going to be?
No clue. It still comes out this year.
Yeah, it comes out next Christmas. And James Gunn has said that it will be important to the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wait, so is it a short or is it like a series or like what format is it?
It is the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. It is a spin-off special ahead of the 2023 Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, inspired by the 1978 Star Wars holiday special. It says Marvel's first television special follows Groot return to his homeworld of Planet X with friends Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Nebula, Mantis, and Rocket.
So how does Gamora get there? Clearly this has to be...
No, Gamora was there. It was just a different Gamora.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's a different Gamora.
The end of Endgame, when they're on the ship, Gamora is not with them. Peter is looking at the screen for where Gamora could be, and that's when he's approached by Thor, and he closes the window really quick, and everyone's on the ship but her. She's not a part of that story. How'd she get there?
Well, I'm sure they'll find her in some course of the...
That or it's prior to
the movie
Endgame.
Doesn't come out. The movie doesn't come out before the show.
Yeah, it could be a prior to Endgame situation, and then maybe at the end,
prequel.
Yeah, at the end of it cuts back to like future, and you know it's still Star-Lord staring at the same image of Gamora or something like that, and Thor walks over. I don't know. I guess by that point Thor will be out, so he's probably going to be split.
Poor Star-Lord character. If you ever want to know just how fast, like, all actor troubles aside, Star-Lord is a character. The minute he punched Thanos, go watch everyone's reaction. When he shows up on screen now, everyone's like, F this guy! Like, he caused a snap. This guy sucks. So
I see what you're saying. Not control. Yeah.
Yeah. So
did that really hurt his like crowd appeal?
Telling you, go watch.
It wasn't like his the actors' takes recently.
Oh no! Like that's a totally different thing.
Okay.
I think that's a totally different thing. I'm saying like, go watch back when people still were like, oh yeah, no, he's fine. Go watch the like crowd reactions on YouTube for Endgame. When everyone comes to those portals, it is like cheers for Doctor Strange. And like, you know, there's a few cheers for Drax, and then like Peter shows up, and everyone's like, cricket. And then immediately afterwards, Peter Parker shows up.
People lose their shit.
And everyone's like, yeah! It is so noticeable when you watch those types of videos. Yeah, it's crazy.
I didn't even consider that.
I think as a character, people have soured on him.
Well, maybe that you know, maybe James Gunn redeems him in the third film. I don't know. I think a bunch of people are going to die in that third film. I think we're going to see some character deaths. Drax has already said that he's done with the character if James Gunn's not directing it anymore. So he'll probably somehow have like a heroic sacrifice.
Chris Pratt needs to just like delete all of his social media.
I think a lot of people need to delete their social media, Bronze. I think just in general.
All the time.
And this isn't a case of like, before anybody's like, oh, he's getting No, it's the stuff he says is just like so assholey that it's impossible to like it bleeds into the character, I think, for a lot of people. Like, because the way he writes things, you're just like, you're so unlikable.
I do feel that Chris Pratt has the same energy of the people that say "bless up."
Yes,
like, those are the same people for me.
That is an accurate take. That is an accurate take.
Okay, so right before he was cast as like the voice of everything, right? Like he was trending for an Instagram post with his new wife.
Yeah.
Where
Arnold,
the post is her looking
daughter,
at
right?
him.
I'm
And
Kimberly, maybe? I forget her name.
I can't think of her name, but the post is her looking at him. If you go and read it, chat, you will see the voice in which it's typed. You're just like, are you okay? Like, he's so self-absorbed. And then in it, he says like, and I met her at church. Look at the way she looks at me. Like that, like he writes that, like, look at the way she looks at me. I'm so blessed. I met her at church. She gave me and then here's where it gets kind of shitty. It says she's blessed me with a healthy daughter. His son with his first wife, Anna Faris, was born premature. So it's such a backhanded comment to be like that.
I remember
other bitch,
when all that happened.
It is.
That other bitch.
It felt unnecessary, like cruel.
Where I'm like,
well, stay tuned.
I just don't like you.
Stay tuned next year for Bronze's incredible review of Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
I mean, if it's good.
Good luck, because I feel like but that assholeness is starting to read into the character for me. I don't know why, but like every time I see,
I do think you have I wouldn't say a problem, but I do think that happens to you where you're unable to separate the character and the actor. Yeah.
Yes. For me, that has happened with Chris Pratt and him alone. Like when I watch Jurassic Park stuff, I'm like it's really hard for me to separate
Jurassic Park stuff. That's just because that's Jurassic Park.
I'm just like, oh, this asshole. Like, I don't know why. Like, it started to... Because I used to think that was a bit. Like, because he plays so many of those types of characters that are like, I'm crazy self-absorbed. And I was like, oh, this is a bit. But then based off his Instagram posts, I'm like, no, that's just him.
Well, get excited, because he's going to be voicing Mario. Can't wait.
No!
It's going to be incredible.
Hey, it's me, Mario.
Hey, it's me, Mario. It's me, Mario. No, that's not the voice. That's not the voice.
Hey,
we're working on it.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah.
Did y'all see the whole thing about how the Italian accent, that he's not going to have an Italian accent, he's going to talk normal?
I mean, there's better ways to say that, but yeah.
There are so many better ways to say that. They're basically like, yes. Because everyone knows the Italian accent is abnormal. I was like, y'all.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to do a reference in that new the new Mario movie to everybody get on the floor, do the dinosaur? Do you think that shows up in that film? I hope it does. I hope we get that.
Everybody knew the dinosaur.
That song is one of those songs that has lived in my fucking head for over 20 years, rent free, without question.
I want to let you know. The lyric is open the door, get on the floor, everybody do the dinosaur.
Yeah.
That's profound.
I know.
That's profound.
It's
how's that dinosaur open the door? How's that dinosaur open the door?
Sometimes I wake up, I get in the shower, and I'm just like, well, I guess everyone open the door and get on the floor. It's just there. It's just there.
Great.
And then I go into, The Lion King. I just want to be king right after that. They just flow right into each other. It's a real weird medley that happens in the shower.
Are we getting your shower mixtape right now? You're just in the shower like, just can't wait
and then,
to be king.
and then Let's Hear It for the Boy from Footloose comes on. Right.
Oh, that's when you're holding the soap. Let's hear it for the boy.
And then we wrap it up with I Want to Dance with Somebody. Okay? That's the
We're getting some deep JP lore. We're getting the deep JP lore.
Oh, man.
Now, do you attempt to dance when you're taking that shower, or are you just like...
No, I don't want to die.
I want to dance with somebody. Is that you shampooing your hair?
That's the shampoo song. That's how that goes.
Well, of course it is.
Yeah.
Well, of course it is.
Yeah. By the way, Footloose soundtrack on vinyl, 180. Oh, Jesse, you got to get it. You got to get it. It's an incredible soundtrack. Incredible.
All right, so
incredible.
Now,
Best Buy. Best. Oh, so good.
Living in a house with two women, how much do they judge you, or is there zero judgment? Is it a judgment-free zone?
Aaron just rolls her eyes and goes, "God damn it!" And the kid doesn't like to acknowledge me when I do things like that. So.
Right. No, because it is embarrassing for both of them.
Maybe.
Right.
I don't know. Perhaps.
Maybe.
Yeah. They bought a bunch of vinyls yesterday. Barnes and Nobles, Jesse Cox. Big on vinyl, by the way. Huge on vinyl. Huge. What did she buy?
Barnes and Noble.
We got the Bohemian Rhapsody soundtrack. We got Guardians of the Galaxy 1 soundtrack. We got Return of the Jedi, The Empire Strikes Back, and Star Wars. John Williams, the Star Wars trilogy. I haven't listened to it yet.
Ooh,
Aaron bought Bridgerton. She bought the Game of Thrones vinyl.
Oh my god.
And then I think the kid also got the Stranger Things vinyl. So
I would have bought like a I don't know, like an album of some sort, like DMX Greatest Cuts.
Well, I wasn't there. Yeah. I was not there, unfortunately.
I got something like but in vinyl. It'd have been great.
Yeah. Also, I will say this, the Taylor Swift vinyl, terrible. Don't buy it. It's bad. It sounds like shit. However, the Dua Lipa vinyl, 10 out of 10, would buy again.
Well,
sounds great.
Here's the thing. Most good vinyl are vinyls that are made for vinyl instead of like the bullshit ones where they just like reprint a CD.
Yeah, that's what I feel like that's what the Taylor Swift one was. It's like on a red vinyl, so they like colored the vinyl. I don't think those are always good.
But shout out to Final Fantasy 14. Their vinyl album was remastered.
Ooh.
It is so good.
Still on pre-order.
So good.
My most played
Jesse's gonna go.
My most played vinyl is the Stardew Valley one. It's just really good background music for when I'm going about my life. You know, the way I'm going through the winter.
That sounds really good.
Like where I play it every day, and me and the newly adopted kitten just kind of go about our routine. It's nice.
That's great.
Can anyone recommend for me like a this is putting this out there to the internet, like a funky, almost like it doesn't even have to have tracks. Like it could be one 35-minute song of just like a jam band. Like
have you gotten do you have like jazz? Do you have a bunch of jazz vinyls yet?
I only have like 3 like you know, like they're all Japanese like future funk jazz things. Let me just tell you, they're so good.
I mean,
1980s Japan was cranking out.
You can always get like a Miles Davis. You know, I think that would go a long way for you.
But I'm not like a big. I'm gonna sit here and listen to like the problem with Miles Davis and a lot of other jazz musicians. A lot of their albums are like upbeat, slow. You know, and I want like upbeat. I want like
you want it nonstop.
I want like a
you want like a Persona 5 soundtrack.
Exactly.
Okay.
I want like a soundtrack that's like some just killer bass in the background, and then just like
Mars Volta might be pretty good if you ever listen to them.
I have not. I don't even know who that is.
Oh, you might. The Mars Volta.
Mars Volta sounds like a Voltron enemy.
Mars Volta's pretty good. They do have some slower bits, but they also
fought
just
the
like
Thundercats before, and now
they also just like go crazy from like super low tempo to like crazy high tempo out of nowhere. It's good. I figured you would have known about the Mars Volta, Jesse. I thought you were like a hip, cool guy, trendy vinyl cat.
You don't even want to know. No, I'm not hip or trendy.
Okay.
I'm a guy who just like. Thankfully, Spotify has great playlists.
True.
I can learn about new songs all the time.
That's true.
But I'm definitely not hip or trendy. That's for sure.
Okay. All right.
I'm like, you kids ever heard of Eve 6?
The Twitter account? Are you talking about the Twitter account, Mr. Cox? Is that what you mean?
You kids ever heard of the Eve 6? I do have the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack. It is great.
From the popular like TV show, right? The live action one?
Right. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I I would look into the live action soundtrack too, because it still had most of the normal songs from the anime, but also some new tracks that I would be down to like. Yeah, I'd have a great time.
Okay, all right. Bronze, here's my final question for you. Then we're gonna do shout outs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Jesse watches this show, so I'm asking you: do you watch Attack on Titan?
No.
Okay. All right. Then I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to be the odd man out here on the show. I'm not going to be the one that watches it for the first time. I'll wait till one of you decide to watch it.
It's on my list.
Yeah.
It's on my list. It's just, it's one of those things that people have overhyped it to where.
Dude, people losing their mind yesterday on, they're like, oh my God, there's season 4, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. Like, so I just haven't
caught up in the hype, JP.
I think I was. Yeah, I was. That's why
I'm the opposite. I have to like wait for things to chill out. Otherwise, I feel like I hold it to a huge, like a super high standard. Like
correct.
And this really started with Breaking Bad because people were just like Breaking Bad, and then I watched it and I was like, yeah, it's okay.
That's good.
I feel like I would have enjoyed. I like stumbling on something and then being like, this is so good. Why like,
yeah.
Like, and it's because I didn't expect it to be. Like I've been watching Hannibal. I know I'm really late to it. Yeah, with Mads Mikkelsen, and I'm like,
hell yeah!
How is this so good?
But
I think part of that is people didn't hype it up to me. Like,
how was that on network television? That aired at like 8 p.m. on NBC. Bronze.
I wasn't expecting it to go some of the places it goes.
Did you get to the Viking, the Blood Angel episode yet?
Maybe.
A bunch of bodies with their rib cage. Spleen popped out. Okay.
I don't think I have.
That's the episode where I'm just like, how in the fuck was this on national television?
That's another show that like Vikings? Game of Thrones was so hyped and I had read the books, and so like watching the show I was like, oh yeah, there's places where it shines, there's places where I'm like, over the seasons I just kind of lost interest because people kept like hyping it up, right? Vikings, I went into it like with no expectations. Yeah. Watched it and was like, I remember watching the first 2 seasons and being like, this is really good.
Vikings
it's not
was,
that I don't like
depressing.
Things that are popular. I think it's that like y'all create this expectation of like this is the greatest thing ever, and then it creates unrealistic like expectations for me.
Sure. Dodger got me to watch Vikings, and then I got to the episode where they visit the suicide cult or whatever in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, fuck this show. This is too fucking depressing. I'm done. I stopped watching. And Dodger was like, but it's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's a good show. It's an interesting perspective.
If we're talking Vikings.
Okay.
Have you seen the trailer for Northman? Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
That looks so good.
Here's the thing though. What's like the twist? That's not just a film about a guy getting revenge in Viking land. Right? Like it's
no, totally
that's not what that director does. There's somehow the devil is at work there, Jesse. That's all I'm saying.
Look,
the devil.
Amazing director who's made amazing films, made wild films, all of them very successful and popular. All I'm saying is you don't always have to do an M. Night Shyamalan. Like M. Night Shyamalan didn't always have to make a twist ending, but he kept doing it, and now everyone's like, well, that's his thing. So this could just be like a very stylized Viking film, revenge flick, and I'm there for it. Or it could be bizarre and weird, in which case I'm also there for it.
Cthulhian Vikings. That's it.
Speaking of Cthulhian, oh my god! All right, hey, if you want to take some time this week, and watch a weird show
about
on Netflix, go check out Silent Sea. It's a Korean.
I heard about that.
Oh, it has Gong Yu in it.
It's like so let me like really quickly just pitch you this it's bizarre. It's so wild.
Let's hear it.
So it's sometime in the future, indeterminate time in the future. Water on planet Earth is
man in
giant
ocean. No, giant man in the ocean, like that.
The seas, there's you would see the full man in the ocean because the seas are dry. There's literally no fish. Like the world is slowly weird. It's like, going to hell.
Okay.
But the water that is around, at least the way it's described, most of the countries of the world are rationing water in a way that, like, if you're important, you have like a gold card and you get more water than people who don't, like that kind of thing. Okay. Anyway, there was a mission to the moon 5 years in the past, and they were doing experiments there that you're not sure what they were, but what you do know is that a terrible accident happened and everyone there died, and one of the main characters, her sister, was on there, and she was on that space station on the moon. And, they've been given a chance to go back up there to recover a sample of something. We don't know what. And this team of like badasses and like gorgeous Korean people, and this woman who is the doctor, who is like huge sexy mom energies. I'm very there for it. I love that character. Oh yeah. They all go to the moon to go to this space station to figure out what the hell happened. And I'm not going to spoil anything from when they get there, but I'm just going to give you one really quick scene as an example of the way the camera working in this movie this series is like so good. They're going down like a creepy hallway, and it's like the light flickered stuff.
Okay.
And the main character turns and sees the stairwell going down, and it's pitch black. And she's looking at it, and then the camera, like from the bottom of the stairwell, looking up at her, she's like in a little black, or like all black, but a little white box of where she's standing in.
Yeah.
And like it's awkward. The music is like in the background. It's very weird, discomforting. And then one of those snap moments where a guy's like, "Hey, you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And like they start to walk away, but the camera is still angled from down below. And then as they leave, the camera leaves with them, like going around a corner. And you're like, was that just the camera, or is that supposed to be a person? What the hell is that? What's going on? It's like that vibe the entire time. For like 6 episodes, just like, what is happening? Oh yeah. Oh, it's good. Okay. It is like such a good, what the hell am I watching right now? Yeah. It then gets full on crazy, and it's amazing. And it's called Silent Sea, and I'll let you know that's the plot of it. Okay. And it's one of the wildest things I've ever watched. And I was like, I'm so glad I watched that. That was so good.
On the Netflix. So. Sounds good. I'll continue watching West Wing. I'll let you know how rewatch number 7 goes. Let's do some shout outs. Bronze, let's start with you. What do you got going on? Where can people check you out? How's the league going?
Yeah. Hi. Hello. Getting back into League of Legends, but mostly I've been playing on my private Project Zomboid server with friends.
Right.
Having a lot of fun with that this week. I would like to reiterate that I don't think women should be deleted. That was me doing a bit satire. Women are great, but that comic is not. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch and Instagram, where I don't post captions like Chris Pratt.
What if you did, though? What if you just reposted a photo of you with Chris Pratt's text on all your Instagram? What if that's what your Instagram was?
I'm going to get a screenshot of Jesse looking at me and being like, look at how he looks at me.
You move. All right, do some shoutouts, Jesse.
Oh man. Hey everyone, I'm very close to the screen right now. I'll playing Metroid Dread this week.
Ooh.
I'm gonna try and get that going. That's doing all sorts of stuff, but that's basically what I'm trying to get done. That's my objective, is to get Metroid Dread done. I have a feeling I'll be terrible at it, but here we are. And so that's what I'm doing. I made a promise, and now I shall do it. That's it. That's my week. That's all. Everything else is up in the air. I don't know what's going on. I got so much crap to do. I'm like, everyone I know is sick or potentially could get sick.
Oh yeah,
so I haven't seen.
Have you guys got an Omicron yet? How's the?
This entire city is every one of my friends. Every one of my friends either has COVID.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is immunocompromised, was exposed to COVID and may have COVID, or like, it's just what a mess. And so
knock on wood. We no cases here in the house.
I had all these plans, JP. I was ready to jump into 2022. Like, all right, we're filming this day, we're doing this thing, and everything's on hold now. My entire schedule's so.
Do you see where the new thing now is that Omicron and Delta have combined into a new strain? Yeah, there's a new strain now. It's
great, thrilled for that.
Really exciting stuff out of the COVID world. Yeah.
Just saying, let's get vaccinated. Actually, let's also work to vaccinate people outside the U.S. where they could definitely use it. Thanks.
Yeah, I agree. What do we got going on this week? Might jump into some Monster Hunter Rise that's coming out on the PC, I think, on Wednesday. If it's anything like the past, a lot of people will be playing that tomorrow, as Capcom usually gives out codes the day prior to content creators, so we'll see. Might also jump into God of War on the PC on the channel. We'll see. And I also have a League addiction, much like Bronze, where I think I've played around 30 or 40 hours since Friday. So that's not healthy at all. We need something to tear me away from it, or I will just further descend into madness and be in the new Doctor Strange film as a League of Legends player. They're going to go to a multiverse, and it's just going to be my room, me playing League, just screaming. Have you guys heard my scream yet from League? It's pretty good.
Is it like a Wilhelm scream?
It's close to it. It's pretty good.
That was, you know what? I can imagine an orc falling off a platform.
Yeah.
Screaming that.
Yeah.
Orc steps off and
like a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, stormtrooper just got shot.
Stormtrooper gets shot by that new I haven't watched any of Boba Fett yet, but apparently there's a new Wookiee. Wookiee shoots a guy and goes.
First off, here's the best part. It's not a new Wookiee.
Oh.
That is a famous Wookiee from the comics.
Oh.
Is it from Dr. Aphra? Is it that Wookiee?
It's that Wookiee. Oh, yes.
Okay,
I know.
I'm going to watch it now. I'm going to watch it now. I know exactly what Wookiee you're talking about.
Oh.
Because I've read Dr. Aphra, and that Wookiee is a G. That Wookiee is like, he doesn't give a fuck. And he's got gray hairs, and he's like, he'll
when that boy showed up on screen,
anybody.
I was like,
he'll murder anybody.
That gif of Leonardo DiCaprio, that was me. I was like, when he shows up on screen.
So you're saying I need to watch this now, Jesse? Is that what
I'm gonna run to see this because you told me that Wookiee's in it. I love that Wookiee.
Yeah. It is so far, it's 2 episodes in, and the vast majority of those 2 episodes is backstory. Okay. So like nothing, there hasn't been a lot of forward action yet.
Okay.
So
maybe just wait till it's all out, is what you're saying?
No, I mean, like, it's pretty neat. The things that are in it right now are like, I will say for the first time, I'm like, Boba Fett's actually kind of a badass instead of just looking cool. He like is cool. So
okay. All right. We'll see. I've been looking for a new show. Anyways, that's that.
It's only 2 episodes, though.
Yeah. We need to figure out, maybe instead of doing live rewatches, maybe it is time for some Iron Fist episode recaps.
Oh my God. I would love that. I want to see.
Do you want to just say now? Next week, we just talked about.
Isn't there a plugin where you can sync watch things?
I'm going to be 100% honest. It's a waste of time. We should just either watch it off stream.
Okay. Yeah. No, let's watch it off stream.
Okay. We're rewatching
we'll just watch
Iron Fist.
My slow descent into the multiverse of madness.
How many episodes of Iron Fist are we watching for next Monday? 2? 1?
Don't put me through more than 2. I'll do 2.
How many? Hold on. How many?
The first 2 of season 1 of Iron Fist. Is that true?
Let me see how many episodes there are. There's 13 episodes in season 1 of Iron Fist. You guys want to do 2?
This is a challenge. I'm in. I'm in.
3. Just so we're
3?
I'll do 3. I can't do 3.
I can't do 3. That's
okay. Fine. Let's do 2. Let's
do 2.
I wanted 2 to start with, but then it's like looking down the barrel of a gun, realizing we have to watch it for 6 weeks.
Okay. We're going to do.
What you're telling me is, Bronze, you're the person that's like, pull the trigger. That's you?
Yeah, that's me.
Get it over with.
That's me. Like, I'm like walking down the street, like, hit me. Come on and hit me. Like fucking Heath Ledger. Come on, hit me. Let's watch all of it. Let's watch 4 episodes.
Look, here's the thing. I'm just going to hit fast forward until Colleen Wing shows up, then I'll hit play. And then fast forward again.
I think that takes several episodes, buddy.
What? No. She's there from the get-go, man.
Are you sure? I remember the first episode of him walking around bare feet. That's all I remember is he's in New York in bare feet. And I was like,
he just like walks.
That's insane. That's insane. He's like walking around barefoot in New York in the first episode.
Why are we doing this? Okay. First 2 episodes, guys. That's your homework for next week. We'll discuss it. Snow Gives Way and Shadowhawk Takes Flight. Those are the 2 episode titles.
Awesome.
Tune in next Monday. We'll cover the news, maybe some trailers if there's any. And we'll talk about the first 2 episodes of Iron Fist on Netflix. That's it for the MCU Crew. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week. We're out of here. Bye-bye.